The morning sun filtered through the tall windows of Rosewood Cafe, casting golden squares of light across the polished wooden floor. The air smelled of fresh coffee and warm cinnamon rolls. It was a Tuesday morning, and the cafe buzzed with the usual crowd of business people grabbing their morning coffee before heading to work. Among them stood Marcus Wellington, a man whose tailored charcoal suit and confident stride spoke of success. As the CEO of Wellington Technologies, Marcus had built an empire from nothing. His company employed thousands, and his name appeared regularly in business magazines. But this morning, Marcus wasn't thinking about quarterly reports or board meetings. His focus was entirely on the small hand holding his own. His daughter Emma was 7, years old with bright brown eyes and dark curls that bounced when she walked. She wore her favorite purple jacket, the one with stars on the pockets. Emma saw the world differently than most children. Loud noises frightened her. Unexpected changes upset her. New places could be overwhelming. Marcus had learned to be patient, to move at Emma's pace, to understand her needs. Today, Emma had asked to visit the cafe. She loved their blueberry muffins, and Marcus never said no when she made such specific requests. These small victories mattered. They joined the line, and Marcus felt Emma's hand tighten in his. The cafe was busier than usual. Voices overlapped. The espresso machine hissed and gurgled. Someone dropped a metal spoon, and the clatter echoed through the space. Marcus felt Emma flinch. "It's okay, sweetheart," he whispered, kneeling down to her level. "Just a few more minutes and we'll have your muffin." Emma didn't respond. Her eyes were wide, darting around the room. Her breathing quickened. Marcus recognized the signs. She was becoming overwhelmed. He gently rubbed her back, trying to ground her, to help her feel safe. Behind the counter, a young woman named Sarah Mitchell moved efficiently between the register and the coffee machine. Sarah was 24, with auburn hair pulled back in a practical ponytail. She'd worked at Rosewood Cafe for 2 years while taking night classes at the community college. The job wasn't glamorous, but it paid her bills and her manager. Mr. Peterson usually left her alone to do her work. Sarah glanced at the line and noticed the little girl in the purple jacket. The child's distress was visible even from a distance. Sarah had a younger brother with autism, and she recognized the telltale signs of sensory overload. Mr. Peterson, however, was in one of his moods. He paced behind the counter, barking orders at the staff to move faster. "We have a line out the door," he shouted. "Pick up the pace! These people don't have all day." His voice boomed through the cafe, and Sarah saw Emma press her hands over her ears. The little girl's face crumpled, and she made a soft, whimpering sound. Something in Sarah's chest tightened. She knew what she had to do. Without asking permission, Sarah stepped away from her station. She grabbed a small blueberry muffin from the display case and a cup of water. She moved around the counter and approached Marcus and Emma, kneeling down so she was at the child's eye level, but keeping a respectful distance. "Hi there," Sarah said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I noticed you might like a muffin. Would it be okay if I gave this to you now? You wouldn't have to wait in line." Emma peeked out from behind her hands. Her eyes locked onto the muffin. Marcus felt a wave of gratitude wash over him. "That's very kind of you," he said quietly. Sarah smiled. "I also thought maybe you'd like to sit in the corner booth. It's the quietest spot in the cafe, away from all this noise." Before Marcus could respond, Mr. Peterson's voice cut through the moment like a knife. "Mitchell! What do you think you're doing?" Sarah stood up slowly. "I was just helping." "Helping?" Mr. Peterson stormed over, his face red. "You gave away product without payment. You left your station when we're slammed. This is completely unacceptable." "Sir, the little girl was in distress. I just thought." "You're not paid to think. You're paid to follow procedure." Mr. Peterson's voice grew louder. Several customers turned to stare. "This is the last straw, Mitchell. You're fired. Get your things and leave, now." The cafe fell silent. Sarah's face drained of color. Her hands trembled slightly, but she kept her chin up. "I understand," she said quietly. Marcus had been observing this exchange with growing disbelief. He watched Sarah remove her apron with dignity, even as her eyes glistened with unshed tears. He saw her glance one more time at Emma, offering the child a small, sad smile. Something inside Marcus shifted. He thought about all the times people had stared at Emma, All the times they'd been made to feel unwelcome because his daughter needed accommodations. He thought about kindness and how rare it had become in a world that valued efficiency over empathy. Marcus stood up to his full height. His voice, when he spoke, carried the authority of someone who commanded boardrooms. "Excuse me." Mr. Peterson turned, irritation flashing across his face. "Sir, I apologize for the disruption. We'll get you served right away." "That won't be necessary," Marcus said calmly. "I'm Marcus Wellington. Do you know who owns this building?" Mr. Peterson blinked. "Wellington Properties, I believe, but—" "That's my company," Marcus continued. "Wellington Properties owns this entire block, which means I'm technically your landlord." He paused, letting that sink in. "Your lease comes up for renewal next month, doesn't it?" Mr. Peterson's face went white. "Mr. Wellington, I didn't realize—" Marcus held up a hand. "This young woman showed more leadership and customer service in 2 minutes than you've shown this entire morning. She saw someone in need and responded with compassion. That's the kind of person any business should be proud to employ." He turned to Sarah, who stood frozen, clutching her apron. "Miss, I don't know your full name yet, but I'd like to offer you a position at Wellington Technologies. We need people in our customer relations department who understand that business is about people, not just profits. The pay is significantly better than here, and we offer full benefits and tuition reimbursement if you're in school." Sarah's mouth opened, but no words came out. Marcus smiled gently. "You don't have to answer now. Here's my card. Think about it. Call me tomorrow." He handed her a business card, then turned back to Mr. Peterson. "As for you, I suggest you think carefully about how you treat your employees. Kindness isn't a weakness. It's what makes us human." Marcus picked up the muffin Sarah had brought for Emma. His daughter had been watching everything with wide, curious eyes. He handed her the muffin and offered his hand. Emma took it, and together they walked toward the door. Sarah stood in the middle of the cafe, staring at the business card in her hand. Around her, customers began to applaud, slowly at first, then building. Someone called out, "Good for you!" Outside, the morning sun felt warmer somehow. Emma took a bite of her muffin and looked up at her father. She didn't say anything. Words were hard sometimes, but she squeezed his hand 3 times. Their secret code, "I love you." Marcus squeezed back 3 times and smiled. Some mornings, he thought, turned out exactly right.